We're talking about sugar tonight, its impact on your body, your family, and your health. We're going to be breaking down things that I want to be ingraining in your mind as you do certain things, make decisions for your family. And we're going to make a scary connection with formula and foods tonight. So we're going to talk about sugar, the sugar rush that you get. Come on, you. All right, we do this by hand. The sugar rush, in terms of how your body is going to respond to sugar. What does that make you think of in terms of rush, sugar rush?
Headache.
Headache. Not what I was going to say. I like it. Headache. What else? What else does it make you think of?
Energy.
Energy. Okay. Is all energy created equal?
No.
No. So what do you know about sugar in terms of your body? Your body needs sugar. Your brain needs sugar to function. Glucose is a thing it needs to eat to function and work. And you've seen Snickers commercials talk about how you get a little weird in the brain when you haven't eaten, okay? So you need sugar. Now what happens if you feed it that Snickers bar versus Mother Nature food? Is there a difference?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You said it so differently. Yeah.
You get that sugar rush, and all of a sudden you get the crash. And
The sugar crash.
Healthy. Yeah.
Do you crash with Mother Nature?
No. No.
Why?
Because it
Fiber.
stays within your system, and it's not loaded with sugar. It's natural sugar, and it's healthy for your system.
That's more of a that than a why, but it's a good answer.
Okay.
Why don't you get the sugar crash with Mother Nature?
It fills your system. Healthy. It's
I want at home, I want people thinking. I want you to be like, I don't know if I could answer that question. Because doctors will tell you that sugar doesn't matter where it comes from. High fructose corn syrup experts will tell you that it's a natural food process, it's a normal ingredient, and they're full of it because it's not. So I want you to think about where it comes from, because not all sugar is created equal. And equal means how your body reacts to it. There's amazing conversations that you can listen to. One of the doctors in Fed Up is Dr. Lustig, who I believe is at UCal Santa Barbara, but I have to check that. I don't know if he's a pediatric or a general doctor, and I don't know if he is internist or gastro type doctor, but he knows the stuff about sugar. And his whole presentation, stay awake for it because it's like an hour and a half long, but it's called Bitter Truth. And it's literally one of the best presentations you're going to hear on sugar. It's very dry. He's, I think, speaking to a medical school auditorium, but I love the dry because it helps you to hear what's going on. And in his slides, he breaks down how sugar goes into your body and how your body has to process it. Sugar goes to the same place in your liver as toxins all go. And your body has to process it and break it down. And it gets broken down into a chemical reaction and turned into uric acid. Uric acid is what everyone knows of with gout. But it causes an inflammatory process, and that's what we're going to talk about. Inflammation. Inflammation is a beautiful, great tool in your body that helps you address a problem. And in small doses for short periods of time, inflammation is awesome. You twist your ankle, inflammation is what happens in the lymphatic system, the fluid between all the cells that stabilizes your ankle or whatever part you twisted so that it doesn't move as much so your body can heal it. It also, when you tear things, like when you hurt your ankle, you tear microscopically the muscles and the ligaments, your body takes all that repair tissue and it starts to break it down. It doesn't want that circulating through your bloodstream. It wants it in your lymphatic system so your body can break it down and get rid of it in your body. It doesn't want it circulating. Picture amino acids, acidity in your arterial system and your vein system would be very bad for your body. So your body's got a nice response with inflammation in a crisis for a short period of time. The problem is most people lead inflammatory lives. So we're going to talk about inflammation because sugar really causes inflammation. What do you know about inflammation? What else do you know about inflammation? What have we talked about over time? Wheat, corn, both of which break down basically into sugar in your body. So they create inflammation. But inflammation is literally what causes damage to the arterial lining of your body. You eat unhealthy foods, you create unhealthy blood. Your pancreas now freaks out, secretes a ton of insulin. The insulin drives the sugar into the cells in your body. But in getting there, it has to go through your circulatory system. And it creates a state in your arteries that's inflamed. Inflammation basically causes damaging. Picture children in a home. What do they do to the paint in your house? Do kids never touch the walls? Or do they constantly touch the walls?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to repaint my house from this point up. You laugh. I have to repaint it from here down. They cause marking, nicking, scarring to the arteries. What I want you thinking about is the foods you eat go into your body and they cause a reaction that your body has to adapt to or respond to. And sugar, when it's natural, when Mother Nature makes it, she packages it with other things in food. Give me an example. What's a food with sugar?
Oranges.
Oranges. Awesome. When you eat an orange, is it different than eating refined sugar?
Yep.
But they're both sugar.
Yeah.
So what is in an orange that helps your body deal with all that sugar? Because there's a ton of sugar. What's in the orange?
The pulp and the...
Pulp. Now, people will squeeze it out and they'll go to the back corner of the grocery store and they'll buy a bottle of orange juice. And most of the people buy pulp free. They're ruining it, okay? Because the pulp free means there's less fiber. The pulp is really the fiber. And the fiber is what slows down how fast that sugar gets into your bloodstream. If you eat a ton of sugar, it gets dumped into your bloodstream. Your blood glucose level is always somewhere in here. It's always fluctuating. So if here's your graph and your blood sugar, you eat some white sugar, your blood glucose goes like this. Your pancreas freaks out, dumps in insulin. Your blood sugar now crashes below level down here. You get that lethargic crash, 95-hour energy. Brings it up, crash, up, crash. Welcome to America. Okay? All of that is stressful in your body. Your body starts producing hormones like cortisol. Stress hormones. Gets your body all out of rhythm. It affects your sleep. You don't sleep very well. Irritates your intestinal lining. You don't digest very well. You become bloated, lethargic, tired, less able to move. You're not going to think very clearly because now your brain's not getting all that sugar. Your body just doesn't work very well. And you get in this rut and you start making bad choices. And by bad choices, can you see what's in the background? What's the background?
Oh, it's candy corn.
Candy corn. You start making bad choices of what you're going to grab and what you're going to eat. And you get in that rut and it makes your body stop functioning normally. And you suddenly think you've got diseases and issues that make your body sick. But really what you're doing is you're suppressing normal. And when you have a suppressed immune system, what happens?
Sick.
Sick. When you have a suppressed cardiovascular system, what happens?
Really sick.
Heart disease, less active, less able to get up, cramping, spasms. When you have a suppressed respiratory system, what happens?
Can't breathe.
Can't breathe, so less likely to exercise. All things that lead to less activity. With less activity, your body becomes more abnormal, more inflamed, less able to do what it's designed to do, which affects the cardiovascular system. All of it is interchanged, and it all starts with what you're putting in. When you eat an orange with the pulp, your blood glucose level comes up a little bit, and then comes back down, never crossing the critical insulin secrete dump in panic line that causes your body to function abnormally. So when you eat an orange, that white stuff's on the outside, you got to eat through that to get to the orange. That's the pulp. That's what slows down the sugar. When you eat an apple, eat the skin. Comes first. When you eat the banana, you get that little peely stuff in there. That's all the pulp. So all of that helps to regulate how fast sugar gets in, because if you remove all of it, it turns into a rush. And the rush floods your body and literally makes you sick, makes you more inflamed, makes your body stop working like it's designed to. Okay? And ultimately, sugar makes you sick. All the white ingredients out there, the sugar, the flour, the cigarettes, all that white will make you sick. So, did you know that the AMA had to rename adult onset diabetes? Look this one up, 1980. When I was a kid, okay? They didn't have juvenile diabetes. It wasn't a thing yet. I have to look at the numbers, but I want to say in 2014, something like 55,000 cases of juvenile diabetes came out of the blue. And nobody's screaming, panicking, freaking out on the fact that children's lives are being affected and ruined based on the food we're giving them. We consider it a civil infringement on our liberties if we restrict what people can eat. We have an epidemic of obese children, okay? It's been going on for over 10 years now, okay? And we need to do something to change that. And a lot of it comes down to the fact that most Americans, back in '09, think that number's higher or lower today?
Higher.
In '09, the average Americans consumed 150 pounds of sugar per person. Every time I tell people that, most people say, well, I don't eat that much. That's an average. It means you're eating that much. Okay? So, how much did the average American eat in 1776 when we formed this country, 1800? How much do you think Americans were eating per pound of sugar 200 years ago compared to now?
Well, they weren't. They were eating Mother Nature. Yeah.
Mother Nature had sugar in it. How much sugar were they having? See, nobody's eating this much white sugar from spooning out of a bag. It's what your body produces. You eat wheat, it gets converted into sugar in your body.
Mm-hmm.
You eat corn, converted into sugar in your body. You can eat candy. I mean, I think the latest number I saw was that 90 million pounds of chocolate, just chocolate, is purchased at Halloween, the week before Halloween.
Oh, that's all.
Wow.
That's just Halloween.
Wow.
50 million before Easter, 30 million before Valentine's Day. Almost 200 million pounds of sugar. Once you throw in the rest of it, 200 million. We have 300 million people. We buy 200 million pounds of sugar. 3 days, for 3 days of the year. And coincidentally, welcome to flu season. Okay? How much were people eating 200 years ago?
I'm going to say 5 pounds.
You're absolutely amazing. Booyah!
Oh my gosh.
5 pounds to 150. 5 pounds. 5 pounds of sugar per person. Okay? 200 years ago. 150. People eat a half a pound basically a day. Half a pound a day, they wouldn't even get 5 in a year. And that's what your body's having trouble adapting to. The whole job of your body is to adapt to changes. I see kids with ear infections because their eustachian tube isn't opening and closing properly. As the storms come through in high pressure to low pressure, how well your body adapts to changes in your environment is the determining factor between healthy and sick. Whether it's in the inner ear, whether it's in the sinus congestion, whether it's with digestion, the things that you're eating, constipation, whether you're not going to the bathroom, colic, whether the food's not moving through the intestinal system. What you put in, garbage out. Sugar's biggest thing is it's a depressing factor in your immune system. Picture this. What are the 3 mammals that need to eat vitamin C? Vitamin C comes from, give me some examples. Where do you get vitamin C?
Oranges.
Yeah,
Okay.
citrus.
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 So what animals typically eat citrus? You ever see a tiger munching?
Monkey.
You see a tiger munching on an orange?
Monkeys, yeah.
Monkeys. I'll give you a hint.
Boom.
Humans. And the third one? Jim Carrey would be very upset with you guys. Come on. Guano. What's the third one?
What?
I know, it's a movie reference. Bats. Bats.
Oh.
Bats have to eat citrus. Because the 3 of us, bats, monkeys, and humans, cannot convert, we lack the enzyme that allows you to convert insulin into vitamin C, and vice versa. So we're obligated to consume vitamin C. So your body has to eat vitamin C for health benefit, for health reasons. Vitamin C has a special molecule arrangement, like a key, that latches into a white blood cell. And when it attaches to your white blood cell, it's like a turbo boost. It's an immune booster. So you'll see vitamin C on a lot of things in the flu aisle that are going to boost your immune system. Unless it also contains sugar. Because in the presence of sugar, your body's going to produce insulin. And insulin and vitamin C have the same molecular structure. And the insulin blocks, it attaches to the immune cell instead of the vitamin C. And because it blocks out the vitamin C, it depresses and suppresses your immune system. That's why sugar suppresses your immune system. So make sure you're being smart, because if 5 pounds is what we used to, your ancestors probably had 4 pounds, and yet we're at this number. What do you think's happening to our immune system?
Oh, wow.
Especially when you eat it between Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's, and Easter. Coincidentally, look it up, flu season. Even though the flu doesn't go anywhere. Okay? Read the labels too. The king size. Kids are going to go to someone's door and they'll be like, oh, I love you, kids. So I'm going to give you the giant, huge candy bars that in 1975 contained ridiculously different amounts, almost half the size of the bar. By the way, a huge bar, a serving size, is a third of the bar. Have you ever seen someone only eat a third of a candy bar? I'm going to save the rest for later. Not all of it, because I'll eat another third of it later.
Christy, maybe.
Yeah, Christy eats this in like 20s. You do, Christy. You eat it in 20s. Okay? She doesn't eat this stuff. She's great. But look at this. 56 grams of sugar. Okay? This is in 05. They're probably even bigger now. I don't even know. But just know 510 calories, 210 coming from fat. That's a ton of sugar right there. Okay? It's abnormal. It's a quarter of someone's diet just in a candy bar. I'm sure people aren't eating it as a meal. Okay? Just be careful. Think smart about what you're doing, because like I said, 3 servings is crazy. Sugar's an underlying problem in America's diet. It's in absolutely everything we eat. If you go out to eat, they're adding it to the food so it tastes nicer, so you think, this tastes good, and you'll come back. It's in food you didn't suspect in quantities you wouldn't believe, and unfortunately, more and more of it is unnatural. I can remember going to the store, probably back in 2005, 2006, shopping and being aware of high fructose corn syrup and trying not to buy it. Most people go today trying not to buy it, and on half of the labels, on half of the products, it says contains no high fructose corn syrup. And it says that now because people understood back then that it was bad for you, and they stopped buying it, and sales dropped. And so the producers of the food changed the chemicals that they were using to make the foods, and they had to reformulate them and take them out. That's very expensive. They didn't do it without study groups that found that people were buying products that did not contain it. So now the bread aisle, which never should have high fructose corn syrup anyway, all your condiments, ketchup, barbecue sauce, ice cream, any of the things, most of the things in most of the aisles had high fructose corn syrup because it was the cheapest way of finding it. And what they found is it's completely unhealthy for you. But look at this. The confectionery sugar sales have grown 4% annually, and they make $29 billion. $29 billion. That's a ton of cash. Okay, so it's able to basically go up slightly in candy, but look at soft drinks. Exponential. Okay? Coincidentally, here's 1980. Look at that jump since 1980. Okay? So just be careful and be aware, because sugar is an excitotoxin. You know what that means? It makes your brain crazy. It's a toxin. Okay? It's a drug. Sugar is a drug like cocaine. An excitotoxin. It harmfully excites and deteriorates healthy nerve-sensitive cells. This is an MRI of your brain on sugar. This is an MRI of your brain on cocaine. Identical. Come on. Movie quote. Brain, spinal cord, heart, blood vessels, and the digestive system are all impacted. Just got that. Brains, my biological clock. Brain, spinal cord, heart, blood vessels, digestive system, they're all impacted by sugar. All of them. So you have to be very careful about what you're having, because your brain is built to crave it, because your life used to depend on finding it. Okay? It's color-coded to attract your attention. Both Mother Nature, that's why all fruit is colored, but picture the grocery store. Everything in the grocery store is bright colors for the kids to find and nag mom and dad to buy. So think of it, because Americans purchase nearly 600 million pounds of overall candy in a year. 200 pounds of which come in 3 days. 3 holidays. Okay? 600 million pounds for Halloween, Huffington Post. I'd be curious to see where we're at today. But just be aware, it's a ton of candy. That 200 was just chocolate. That's not everything, that's just chocolate. So be careful and be aware. Be careful what you're having. This is candy corn. I don't mean to ruin it for you, but this was in candy corn. Have you ever read it before? You're laughing. You ever read it before?
No.
I could play a game with you. And I could tell you, this actually isn't candy corn. It's baby formula.
Ooh.
Ooh. Are you less likely to eat it?
Well,
Are you less likely to feed it to an infant? Do you know how many people don't know what's in their baby formula? I ask moms all the time, what's the first ingredient in the formula you're feeding your baby? And the most typical response is, I don't know.
It's true.
No idea. Doctor told me to take it. I don't blame moms. I blame the doctors. Because this is exactly the same stuff that's in your formula for a baby.
Wow.
Oh, and this is the hypogenic. This is the, I'm not gonna brand destroy them here. So I'll flash it fast. But this is the
Saw that.
this is the ingredient list. First ingredient, 55% of it is corn syrup solids. Oh, there it is. And then safflower oil, soy oil, and then 2% of everything else, which includes all the vitamins and proteins that this doesn't have. So if we just take like a squirting bottle and just squirt some vitamins and some minerals on there, because you know, if you just squirt them on later, it's just the same as if they were naturally found there, you'd have baby formula. How many parents would feed their baby candy corn for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and midnight snack? They'd all be like, no way, but yet, read it.
Are there any what you call quote unquote healthy formulas for some mothers who can't breastfeed?
There's a lot more healthier. Sadly, they come from Europe, but there's great ones.
Okay.
If you're in a choice that you don't have a choice, yeah, I just tell you, turn the thing around. Sadly, there will be 30 brands or types in the grocery store. 25 of them are identical. Just different name on it, identical. Turn them around. Different ratio. 45% instead of 55%. But most of them, corn syrup solids is the leading ingredient. It's horrible.
Why doesn't somebody make a healthier formula for mothers? That's ridiculous. Sorry.
Talking the wrong way.
Wow.
We're going the wrong way. We're not doing what we should be doing and focusing on what we should be focusing on. In 1966, this dude, from Germany, won the Nobel Prize. He talked about the real cause of cancer. Okay, it's a fermentation of sugar is what he said. Now I don't care whether it's what the cancer connection is, because I'm not going to go into the foundation of the cancer, even though abnormal cell function is a definition of cancer, and when you feed it on abnormal food, that's the only thing you can get. But what I want you to see is in 1972, it was identified as a problem causing diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. 1972. Who was the president?
Nixon.
Nice, Nixon. Good. Richard Nixon. And he and the FDA heard this. Okay, they heard this, and they declared a war on fat.
What?
What? Are you kidding me? Do you walk into a restaurant and see no sugar in our products or no fat?
No.
Do you know why there's no fat? Because of doctors. No chef was like, I'm going to make an egg white omelet for people. A doctor had the idea, don't eat the yellow of the egg. Like, that was a smart idea. And then chefs were like, okay, well, we'll use the rest of the egg then. Ludicrous. Eat the whole egg. But the point is that we had the answer. We went the wrong way, because remember that 29 billion you just saw? Yeah, it bought an answer. And the answer is that we declared a war on fat. So people know words like cholesterol, good and bad, HDL, LDL. They know things like triglyceride. Words they have no business really understanding. Instead of understanding that sugar is really horrible for you. Last thing I'll tell you, the byproduct of high carb diets, low fat diets, is the amount of sugar that's added to the food to mask the taste, because it would taste horrible. Okay? Fat's what tastes good. Sugar causes the liver, I don't know if I can get rid of that arrow, to convert the energy to fat, which raises triglycerides and alters the energy in your body from your liver that's used to form uric acid. Okay? Medicine diagnoses these problems respectively as gout, hypertension, and stage 1 inflammation. All the things we talked about, which promotes secondary cholesterol. Now you know why you get cholesterol. It's fighting the inflammation. If triglycerides are high and HDL is low, that's their marker for heart disease. Byproduct of sugar, stage 1 inflammation, cholesterol. Eat sugar, you'll get cholesterol. Because cholesterol is only 25% comes from what you eat. 75% of it is made, not by mistake, it's made by your liver to fight that. Corn, wheat, Sugar itself, all of it is inflammatory. All of it's going to be causing your body to produce cholesterol to fight the denting and the nicking and the problem, the inflammation in the arterial system. And that's where our disease comes from. So be smart, because we have a holiday coming up. Okay? There's no fiber. Make sure that you make good choices. I'm not saying don't have candy, even though I probably should say that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying make smart choices. I would rather you feed your children candy and teach them to make smarter choices than tell them they can't have it because they're going to go to someone else's house and binge on it. So I don't tell my kids they can't have candy. What I tell them is, be smart. Eat Mother Nature, then have your candy. You want to have something that's not healthy? Drink a glass of water, then have something that's not water. They'll complain they want to have it. I say, great, you can once you finish the water. Have a piece of Mother Nature, and then have something abnormal that we've created in some lab somewhere and told you, oh, this is food. Okay? Eat something Mother Nature before eating anything artificial. Drink plenty of water. It's going to dilute it, help your body digest it, and figure out what to do with it. Make sure you move, because exercise is a nutrient. Movement creates circulation. Your water, 75% of you is water. Stagnant water like a puddle goes bad. So make sure you move, drink plenty of water, eat something from Mother Nature, and make sure you sleep well. Get enough rest, because that's when healing happens, and that's when your body's going to deal with the toxicity of all this stuff in the background that you're putting in your body. So make good choices at Halloween or Easter, Valentine's Day, Christmas, whatever you binge on flu, and make sure that you do things that suppress the bad and bring out the good, because you don't get sick, you do sick. And if you can make better choices, you allow your nerve system, which is the part of you that gets fried from all of this, you allow your nerve system to respond more appropriately so it can keep you healthier. Okay? Don't get sick. Do good. Have a great night. Thank you very much.